I am back once again with a new update when it comes to Celeste Hernandez and David. Yes, y'all, I have been seeing everything, and there has been a possible sighting of Celeste Hernandez at a concert with David. There have been so many people that think that this girl up on this right-hand side at David's concert on August 23rd in Silver Spring, Maryland is Celeste. I'm not gonna lie, it is hard to tell, but some of these pictures that are coming up from these videos from this show does look very similar to Celeste. A lot of people are pointing out that this girl is wearing a tube top, and it also appears that she has a bracelet, a yellow one, like in Celeste's autopsy report. People are so convinced that this has actually been sent to the LAPD for them to possibly try to go back and find out if this is in fact Celeste. And there's two things that people are pointing out about this show. It appears that David during this show knows who these two people are. Not only that, you can also see in these videos they are wearing some type of like backstage pass or something like that. Watch during this performance because he literally communicates with the girl up there, and it's really odd. Look, he starts pointing at her while he's singing the song, and then he ends up making a half heart and pointing at her. I do also have to say that this timeline would leave me with a couple questions. One of the first questions that come to my mind is the neighbor saying that that car was abandoned in that spot for about 3 weeks. Now we know the car was towed on September 8th, and then this is when these neighbors would make these statements. David had 2 shows in this city in Maryland back to back on 2 different days, the 23rd and the 24th. Now, after that second show, the next night in Silver Spring, Maryland, he does have a day off in between that and then Cleveland, Ohio. But we know LA is still all the way across the country. And then I also think about them traveling back to LA in the short amount of time. We also know that Celeste was underage, and I'm like, well, how would she travel? They would have to travel on an airplane if it was in between that short amount of time. But we also just found out from TMZ yesterday that she had fake IDs. Now, from that time frame of her allegedly last being seen till September 8th of when the car was found, that would only be about 2 weeks. But we also know that it is possible that the neighbors could be off with their dates. And then a lot of people are also questioning, well, if this was only technically 2 weeks from when she was found, do you think that there was any way that she would have been able to be decomposed that bad, like what the autopsy said? I'm not an expert in any single way when it comes to this, but I did do a little bit of research, and it is possible because we know that she was in a trunk in the heat in LA in the summer, and she was also wrapped in a bag. So honestly, I'm not sure. Now, we have news sources picking up the information, and I have seen your guys' comments, and honestly, I haven't talked about it because I just don't know for sure if it is Celeste, but I do think it was a great find by the internet. This girl and Celeste do have very big similarities with one another, even if the photograph isn't the best. And the fact that she's wearing a tube top, and you can also tell she's wearing a bracelet. When you add the fact that they are wearing some type of backstage passes, and we also have video from this performance of David pointing at this girl and making half of a heart while he's singing. I don't know. It's pretty crazy. No, we don't know for sure if this is Celeste, but honestly, I think that this is a great find, and I am glad that this was reported to the LAPD because this is something that they can go back and try to track and try to figure out where her last whereabouts were. Because if this is a potential sighting of Celeste, then this would be a big deal for law enforcement. But y'all let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments.